Give me 7 minutes and I'll save you 37 hours of research and $3,912, because that's what I spent to narrow it down to 3 of the best juicers that are actually worth the money. I'll even let you in on some insider data you can't get anywhere else. But first, let's kick out some losers from this list so you don't waste hundreds of dollars. The first loser is a juicer that sells like crazy, but there are things nobody tells you about it until it's too late. It's called Duelist. And if you couldn't guess, it's an Amazon bestseller. And I get it, it's cheap, so why not give it a try? Well, ever hear the saying, you get what you pay for? Yeah, that just couldn't be any more true here. Some people are lucky and juicers like this last them a while, but most people have theirs break after 3 to 6 months. These types of juicers are called centrifugal juicers, and most of the warranties with these machines last about 1 year. So if your warranty expires, your juicer breaks, they're counting on you to just buy another one. But that's not even the worst part. Whenever you turn this type of juicer on, it's like a jet engine going off in your kitchen. If you live in an apartment where your neighbors are going to complain, or if you got kids, you're definitely going to wake them up. Overall, it's just maddening to hear a motor screaming for 15 minutes when you want to make juice. Not only that, but this type of juicer is terrible when it comes to extraction. It doesn't matter if it's a slightly better quality brand like Revel. Here's what happened when I tried to juice leafy greens, and check out these whole unprocessed leaves. It's just crazy wasteful. Centrifugal juicers also destroy nutrients and oxidize juice faster. If you've ever taken a bite of an apple and watched it turn brown, that's oxidation in action. This makes the juice spoil quicker. I don't recommend buying this type of juicer from any brand. Instead, you want to get yourself a cold press juicer. They're better at extracting juice, so there's less waste and you save money on groceries. But you got to be super careful with which cold press juicer you buy. And I've added links in the description to every juicer in this video. I'll keep them updated with the best discount so you can save as much money as possible. If you use one, I might earn a small commission, but it's at no extra cost to you. And no, this video is not sponsored. Now, here's the next kind of cold press juicer you want to avoid at all costs. This one is called Link Chef, but it's pretty much identical to this Amazon bestseller called Ian Orris. Now, if that sounds like a weird brand name, it's because it is. It's probably owned by a dodgy fly-by-night Chinese seller who's probably manipulating Amazon with fake reviews so they can just sell more product. How do I know this? They sold 7,000 units in the last month, and back in 2017, a study found that nearly 43% of reviews on Amazon are fake. It turns out that this is just a cheap knockoff of one of the best juicers on this list, which we'll get to later. The best cold press juicers use a hopper with blades at the bottom. In this case, these cheap knockoffs have the blade attached to the auger instead of the hopper. When turning it on, it's a bit quieter than the centrifugal juicer, but this knockoff is still damn loud. Here's what you get after juicing celery with it. The pulp comes out of the machine soaking wet, meaning it doesn't do a good job of extracting all the juice. Then if we strain what's in our cup, the juicing screen doesn't do a great job of filtering out the pulp either. So when you buy a cheap cold press juicer like this, you save money up front, but waste way more money long term on groceries. On top of that, you're left with an extremely pulpy drink. And the fanboys of this next juicer are going to absolutely chew me out in the comment section, but I don't care at all. I think you deserve the truth. This cold press juicer is called the Kuvings Auto 10. The quality is actually 10 times better than the last 2 machines, but I personally avoid it, and here's why. The Kuvings Auto 10 has one of the biggest hoppers on the market at 100 ounces. This helps you make about 4 to 5 cups of juice per batch. Now, the Auto 10 stands out because of its power. It can make juice for 60 minutes straight without breaking a sweat, and can probably make about 120 cups of juice in 1 hour. The yields are amazing, and it's super efficient when it comes to straining the pulp out of your juice. It seems like the perfect machine, right? Wrong. Being able to make 120 cups of juice in 1 hour is cool, but that's overkill for most people. And it's 16.5 pounds, making it feel like you're lugging around a gym weight. It's much quieter than the previous juicers, but it's louder than the winners I'm about to show you. Now, I like the Auto 10. I think it's a quality machine, but at $700, in my opinion, the value's not there. There's also the Auto 10 Plus, which is just the same machine, but it comes with a stainless steel blade and an even bigger hopper. You know what's crazy? I'm not even sure how long these juicers will be available. Hurom, another juicing brand, filed a complaint with the Korea Trade Commission, and according to this article, they successfully proved that Kuvings' parent company violated their patent. I'm guessing it was something like the hopper they may have copied. The ruling ordered them to stop exporting the Auto 10 and dispose of remaining inventory. That could mean once the stock runs out, it might not be sold in the US anymore. And if that's true, I wonder what happens with the juicer's 15-year warranty. For most people, this next juicer on the list is even better. It doesn't come with those headaches and it's a fraction of the cost. This juicer has got everyone talking about it. They go heavy on influencer marketing, but don't let that fool you. It's called the Hurom H400. The Hurom H400 makes about 2 to 3 cups of juice, which is less than the Kuvings Auto 10. But for most people, that's all you really need. If you want more juice, just lift the lid and add more produce. But let's say you really love the idea of that large hopper. Well, you can just buy an add-on which makes the capacity slightly bigger than the Auto 10 at 105 ounces. But before you whip out your credit card, let's pump the brakes and take a look behind the curtain. The Hurom H400 uses a hopper, so how come they're not in any legal dramas? Well, for full transparency, Nama uses Hurom as their manufacturer. Nama has a separate engineering team, but Hurom is producing the product in South Korea. With the Hurom H400, you get high yields and it's one of the quietest machines on this list. Like the Auto 10, it uses stainless steel juicing screen, so you get ultra low pulp, but you can't afford to be as lazy when cleaning it as this next juicer I'm about to show you. If you want to see how the J2 stacks up against the 11 juicers I've tested, that's coming up too. You're gonna get to see their juice yield, assembly, and cleanup times so you can clearly compare which juicer performs best. And like I said, you won't find this data anywhere else. But first, what makes the J2 stand out has to be its catalog of primo add-ons and accessories. They've got an add-on for sorbets, there's the bigger hopper add-on that makes larger batches, the juice bottles have to be the best I've used to date. They have this juicing container that comes with a built-in strainer so you can get even less pulp if you're into that, and you can get a stainless steel citrus juicer for oranges. It's more than $100 cheaper than the Kuvings Auto 10, but this gives you room to customize your journey with the add-ons you actually want to pay for. Tons of people rave about this machine, and with the 15-year warranty, I totally understand why. Buck for buck, it's got the best value out of any juicer out there, but it isn't nearly as easy to clean as this next juicer on this list. Can you imagine your juicer cleaning itself? You'd probably use it almost every day because, let's be honest, nobody likes to clean. Now, there isn't a juicer that can clean itself yet, but this comes pretty darn close. This is the Hurom H400 with Easy Clean technology. And before I show you how cleaning this thing feels like an absolute cheat code, you have to see this first. Like the others, it has a massive hopper where you can toss whole fruits and vegetables, close the lid, flick the switch, and then you can go back to whatever it was you're doing. And like the J2, you can make about 2 to 3 cups of juice at one time. Now, they don't call this thing Easy Clean for nothing. The previous juicers have stainless steel juicing screens that you need to scrub. But cleaning this juicer is as simple as splashing the parts with some water and that's it. It literally takes 1 minute and 6 seconds to clean this thing from start to finish. There's no mess, there's no fuss, and you can really make big batches of fresh juice. But the H400 isn't perfect, as it does leave a bit more pulp in your juice, but that wasn't a deal breaker for me. It's also got a 15-year warranty, making it one of the top picks. What's crazy is that there's a version of this juicer that's almost exactly the same but costs $100 less. So many people are sleeping on this and hardly anyone knows about it. This is the Hurom H70 and it has the same Easy Clean technology as the Hurom H400, but it's slightly more compact. It's $100 cheaper than the H400, but here's the catch. The hopper is smaller. Instead of being able to batch 2 to 3 cups of juice at one time, this one only does about 2 cups. The Hurom H400 also has a pulp container attached to the machine where the H70 doesn't, so you lose a little bit more counter space. It also makes a more pulpier juice compared to the H400. Here's a comparison so you can see for yourself. These weren't deal breakers for me, but if you plan on making bigger batches, want more counter space and less pulp, then paying the $100 extra for the H400 could make sense. But if you don't care about any of that stuff, it's a steal. Now, I'm about to show you my personal data for these juicers that you won't find anywhere else on the internet. Because like I said, I literally spent weeks testing them, cleaning them, and measuring the amount of juice they make like a mad scientist. My top 3 picks, aka the winners on this list, were neck and neck. H400 stood out in terms of celery, while the Auto 10 was a beast when it came to ginger. The J2 and the H70 seemed to be the most well-rounded in terms of yield. The H70 was the fastest to clean of the 4 machines, but the J2 and the Auto 10 give you the least amount of pulp. And if you're still on the fence about which juicer to buy, I'm gonna make this super easy for you. If you want the least amount of pulp, just get the J2. If you don't mind a bit of pulp and you value that lightning fast cleanup, then the H400 is the perfect machine for you. If you like the H400 but it's just a bit outside your budget, get the H70 because it's almost the same. Whichever one you choose, check out the links in the description below. I'll keep them updated with the best discount on the internet. I have no idea how long these deals are gonna last, so make sure you don't wait.